Good morning, buddy. Welcome to a new week. Of course, if you've looked at your YouTube algorithm, you've noticed that in addition to the video you're looking at right now, I posted a video this morning very early. And that was a tutorial. As I offered to you last week, one of my goals is to at least once a week provide you with a tutorial. They'll start out easy, like the ones you've seen thus far, and they'll become a little more challenging. But I hope in the fun of learning something new, you can add a little something to expand your repertoire of crochet. Today, I kind of want to talk to you just really quickly about how the weekend went because it was a fun weekend. I started out just enjoying Friday for Friday. I always call it Freedom Friday because it's the day that I'm not regimented by a schedule for my daycare families. Excuse me. Yes, it's clearly early. In fact, it's 5:52. I'm so much more happy to be able to get up this early in the morning and produce a video because that gives me more time to edit before my daycare clients get here and possibly get it out to you even sooner. So that's a joy. Friday night was a early night for me. I was plain exhausted. The one thing I will tell you, if you're considering starting a YouTube channel, if you already have a YouTube channel and you're just getting your sea legs on how to balance your family life, your YouTube life, and the life that you had before you turned on your camera by watching other YouTubers, is that it is really a balance that you have to be intentional about. I have learned from bigger YouTube channels that they are intentional in who they watch, how much time they spend behind the scenes prepping and setting up and doing all the things that they do to make their channels look as fluid and posh and polished as possible. I gather and lean towards those YouTubers who I'd like to say keep it a little more real. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with someone who puts a lot of time, effort, and money into the construction of the videos that they produce. I like, creating the fun intros and outros that I do, but honestly, they're not that hard, to be very honest. I use some software that makes it that easy. What I have learned is that for me, not only do I need to produce an intro that I can just plug and play and an outro for the same purpose, but video construction consists of two parts for me. This part that you're seeing with me talking to you, having a conversation, sharing my thoughts or whatever I may want to say, and then filming me crocheting. You would think the talking part would be the hard part. This was a topic of discussion in another chat, and so many people mentioned the same thing about themselves. They talk a lot. I have always, all my life, been told you talk too much. Whether it was every single teacher that I had in school, in some relationships I've been in. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if my very last relationship was dismantled because I'm a talker and they're really not. They say things, but they're not very chatty. And that can be a good thing for a relationship for some people. For others, it's a nightmare. And I hold no grudges. None. I think, bless you. If what I have to say isn't what you're ready to hear, then it's not the right time for you, for me, for us. So it is what it is. But that doesn't stop me from being a chatty person. It's who I am. I'm not going to change who I am to fit into the mold of what someone else may want. I'm just not what you want. I say that because for some people who have turned on videos that I have created thus far, they've said, oh, she talks too much. I can't listen to her. And I respect that. I'm sad because a lot of times some of the information, we'll call it, that I share is motivational. Sometimes it's that virtual hug that you're not getting in any other format. And they're not getting that hug. And that's sad. But we move on because you're here, you're my buddy, and I am so very grateful to be able to share this time with you. On to Saturday. Saturday was Saturday was wild for me. Saturday was my planning session of what I want the next few videos to look like. Yes, despite the fact that I sit here and just randomly run off at the mouth, I actually have a plan, or at least I start out with a plan of what I want to say to you day to day, what I want my videos to look like. I am behind the scenes, of course. If you intend to improve, you've got to learn somewhere. For me, that somewhere is in learning how to write patterns. So I've acquired a couple of things that will help me better understand how do you write a pattern? What goes into it? How do you avoid the verbal diarrhea that confuses people? I know even in, creating the tutorials that you've seen thus far, I kind of talk more than might be necessary for some people who are learning how to do what I'm showing you to do. And for that, I apologize in advance. But again, I'm learning. So that was a bit of a process for me. Of course, because I am so busy during the week, the weekend oftentimes is a little bit of me going through my space, my room, my crochet area, my yarn area, and cleaning things up. I will pull out some yarn and say, oh, this will be great for such and such, and then not use it for that, or I'll switch colors or whatever may happen. So for me, each piece of that, not putting it back right away, means that at some point it's got to be put back. And that's exactly what I did. I, also had the opportunity to spend time with some of my very, very dear friends via Zoom in the format of a Zoom video with Juan the Yarn Addict. By the way, Juan the Yarn Addict is nearly at 31,000 subscribers. He's really, really close. And if he hasn't achieved it already, because I haven't looked, I'm a little scared to look. And it's early. But if you're not subscribed to his channel, I do highly recommend him. He is certainly a lot more polished than I am. He does tutorials, he does a lot of whips, and he's also a part of a really inspirational program where they're creating blankets for a camp called Boggy Creek. I'm not going to go into the great details of Boggy Creek. There is so much information on these YouTube highways about that camp, that program, and what they're doing that I don't need to rehash and repeat or misspeak and give you the wrong information. So I'm going to send you to creators that I know that know a lot about it, like an Alaskan crafter, Jan, Juan the Yarn Addict, and Creations by Jax. Of course, she's got yarn too. Nancy is another wonderful resource for finding out about Boggy Creek. But this is a passion that is running rampant throughout the YouTube streets, and I highly encourage you to get interested in it. If you've got room on your hook to create some blankets for some children who were really worthy of your time and talent, then I suggest you go. I, at this point, as you know, don't have time for it. Not yet. Excuse me. And then when I do have time, I can't promise that I will be able to commit to it this year. There simply may not be time for me to do that. I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying there may not be time. As we have talked about over the couple of weeks that we've been together, I have a home daycare. For me, this week, that means there's a new daycare child joining me. And this particular daycare child, like every daycare child who's joined me thus far, is entitled to a new blanket. So that means, yes, we're putting down the wedding blanket. Excuse me, let me get some coffee. Yes, we need our coffee. And today's coffee is our pumpkin coffee. We did just our regular vanilla protein, added in 8 ounces of pumpkin flavored coffee and our pumpkin syrup. Oh my goodness. And as you remember, it wasn't quite 6 o'clock when I started. Excuse me. In fact, it's only 6:02. So I am just in desperate need of my caffeine. Oh, anyway, with the new daycare client starting, that means for me whipping out a new blanket. And the one thing I try to do for my particular kids is I don't give each child the exact same blanket. You can't assume that, oh, I'm joining Miss Michelle's daycare, so that means I'm going to get this blanket. No, I try when I first meet the baby to do just a cursory glance at them and decide, what do they say to me? Are they busy? Are they, are they small and they really haven't even begun to showcase their person? So for this baby, he's not even a year. So he hasn't really shown me much of anything. I have noticed he's pretty smart though. And he's got the sweetest smile. So I wanted to make something that spoke to that. Well, good morning. Forgive me. I am trying to figure out what the heck insect just flew by me, and I'll see it in the video. Not that I want to. But anyway, this particular sweet baby is going to be getting a blanket that mixes a lot of different colors because he has such a vibrant personality that I want to do something fun and whimsical for him. At the same time, I want to make it functional because he is a child and you don't want anything that could be dangerous to a baby. So I won't be creating an extraordinarily wild fabric, something simple and easy. So we'll be doing a corner to corner. And again, I have to say thank you to Juan, the yarn addict, because honestly, I could not win with a corner to corner blanket. My blankets were always askew one way or some shape that ought not be made into a blanket. I don't know. It just, I could never get it together. But watching his tutorial taught me how to do it. And now, let's just say I'm off and running. I made a blanket recently for one of my former daycare clients who has just recently graduated from high school. And that was the gift that I was able to give them. And I kind of think it tied together the beginnings of our relationship and the new journey that we're starting on. So I'm a blanket girl. I guess you could say that. I'm a blanket girl. Excuse me. Well, like I said, Saturday we had our Zoom and I got to see some of the faces of people that I so enjoy listening to who have now become subscribers to my channel. I'd love to see more of them join me, and they're always welcome. So if you're one of those people and you know that such and such is in a group that we commune in, then please invite them to join us. That being said, I also had the opportunity to watch one of my regular channels that I watch, and that would be Fortunate Creates with Kim. And I'm sorry, you have to forgive me in advance for laughing, but Kim keeps me in stitches. She has a beautiful program that she does every morning at, like, according to Central Standard Time, like 7:30 in the morning. She comes on, she shares what's going on with her life. We get to hear Fritzy, we get to hear Al, and it's super, super fun. But the reason that I'm mentioning it, and Lord, please help me remember to post her channel in my video comments. And I say that because this Saturday, is going to take some time out of her schedule to interview me. And that's wild to me. I have only had a YouTube channel for 3 weeks. And someone wants to interview me. I, I'm I'm honored. I'm genuinely honored at this opportunity. And I certainly hope those of you who are subscribers will jump over there and watch our interview. It's either going to be a train wreck, it's either going to be hilarious, or it's going to be wonderful. For me, it's going to be exciting. So I hope to see you there. And I know that you'll get something out of it because she has a way of asking things that just get you going and make your mind work. That was the better part of my Saturday. I did eventually slow down, grab something to eat, and call it a night. Sunday is my crazy day. And I say it's crazy because I'm busy. I am busy from the moment that my feet hit the floor to the moment that my head hits the pillow that night. I get up this particular Sunday, excuse me, was not unlike any other. Hop in the shower. I chose to wash my hair before I did my moderating duties as a moderator for a coupon channel that I love and support, and gladly encourage anyone who's interested in couponing to leave a comment below, and I will share that channel with you. I am not necessarily not shouting it out, but recently we've had a number of trolls because this is something that is done live. So this is an in the moment while that person is in the store shopping, bringing you the information, bringing you the deals. So it requires a little extra responsibility as a mod to make sure that no inappropriate chat gets into those conversations and comments. And I'm constantly ejecting people out the door because of it. So forgive me if I'm a little more guarded with what I say about that channel, but it is a great channel. And there are others. Please know I know that she's not the only one that does this. She's just the one that I support. So for anywhere from 2, sometimes 3 hours, this week it was only 2, we sit on that panel and we moderate the chatter. Once that's done, and I ducked out a little early to this particular time because I had a video to film so that I could give you the tutorial that you already have. When I was filming the tutorial, one thing I found that is true of me, it may be true of you and others. We have different words for what we call things. For example, the single crochet, I call it the single stitch. And I called it the single stitch in the video probably multiple times because it's what I say. I don't typically call the pattern a pattern. I call it a fabric because when you look at it, this becomes a fabric. Tease. That's our blanket that we're going to be working on during our crochet time. But I had to get my video done and edited. And the wild part for me was even after completing every aspect of that video. And I'm sorry for the shaking. There's a little bit of wind blowing, so the stability of the stand you're on is going to shake just a little bit. Anyway, um, I had filmed it in completion and then realized, wait a minute, I can't put that product out. There's incorrect words. There is a position within where the filming is being done that doesn't work for your camera or what you're going to see. And I am still not yet steady on where to place my hands. So uh, I apologize in advance if it's not exactly what you're looking for as far as how the production is done. I'm still learning. Again, 3 weeks is not 3 months, it's not 3 years, and certainly it's not where some of the other bigger YouTube tutorial creators are. I'm not there yet. I don't have a problem with saying that. I'm new, I'm learning, I'm growing, and I appreciate in advance your indulgence. So, got that done, got it out the way. Had a brief chat with a good friend, made an appointment, if you could call it an appointment, made a date plan with a good friend of mine so that we can get together and catch up, because amidst everything else that's going on in my life, I don't want to lose the relationships that I've cultivated with my friends and family that mean the world to me. There are still some other phone calls I need to make this week, and they're on my calendar because there's some people I want to check in on and see how they're doing. Having said that, got the video done, got it scheduled, got it uploaded. Out the door I went to take my son to get his hair cut. Excuse me. Of course, that meant stopping and grabbing cash because I really do not keep cash on me. I don't. How does anybody else do that? I used to always have money at the ready available for me for whatever I needed to do. Now I never have cash. And because the transaction that my son is doing for his haircut, I prefer to pay for in cash. Whew, it means sometimes I have to stop and pick up money. And most ATMs only give out certain denominations, and the denomination that I needed, they don't give out. So I had to stop and grab something so that I could make change. The silly things I still have to do as a mom. But we got our hair cut. That was some wonderful crochet time while simultaneously catching up on some of my favorite video people and seeing what they're up to. So got that done, came home, watched Juan, watched a few other YouTubers, and had a pleasant evening. I can't honestly remember if I ate dinner though. I think I did. I don't remember. I'm not going to think too much about it. I am going to make a conscious effort once I finish my coffee at some point to eat lunch. I'm not really feeling the whole breakfast thing, but definitely feeling like lunch is important today. So, with that said, you'll notice our sun is a little higher, and I'm going to let you go. We are just over 23 minutes in. It is now 6:15. And I know it's 6:15 because I just got a notification about it. So it's 69 degrees outside. So I had to put my sweater on. And yes, wine, there is pink in it because I needed it, because it looks good. And just so you guys know, for those of you that are tracking my progress, um, bear with me. I am hitting the dashboard. Excuse me. We are standing at 184 subscribers. We are really close to 200. Wow. We have 1.2K in viewers and 135 watch hours. That's pretty good. I'm rather pleased. I certainly hope to see these numbers grow over time, because I do this not just because I enjoy it. I do this because it matters to me. And I hope I'm bringing you something that matters to you. With that said, have some fun today. It's Monday. For some of us, that's a hard day. So know that you're not going anywhere without knowing I love you sincerely, truly, and with every fiber of my being. I say to you, you matter. I love you. Please, if nothing else goes right today, let this be the part that did. Smile. People will either know that you're having a great day or be frightened by what you might be up to. Either way, it's a win for you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's crochet or whatever you're going to do, but join me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.